Look, have you ever had one of those moments where you're sitting at your desk, or maybe in your car, or scrolling on your phone late at night, and you think, man, I work so hard. How am I still not rich? You're doing everything right. You went to school. You got a job. You're busy all the time. And yet, your bank account doesn't reflect how much effort you're putting in. Meanwhile, you see headlines about entrepreneurs making millions, flashy startups, influencers, crypto guys, tech founders. And it feels like if you're not doing something loud, risky, or glamorous, you're stuck. But here's the thing that almost nobody talks about. Some of the richest people you've never heard of are running businesses so boring, so quiet, so unsexy, that most people walk past them every single day without realizing they're printing money. And once you see this, it completely changes how you think about wealth. My name is Nick, and I spend way too much time thinking about how money actually gets made in the real world, not the Instagram version. And if you're someone who works hard, earns decent money, but feels like you're still stuck on a treadmill that never really goes anywhere, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today, we're talking about the quiet businesses that make millions without anyone noticing. No hype, no lambos, no hassle culture. Just real businesses, real numbers, and the psychology behind why most people ignore the best opportunities right in front of them. And trust me, this is where it gets really interesting. Here's the thing, most people think getting rich means doing something extraordinary. You have to invent something new, go viral, build a tech startup, take massive risks, be the smartest person in the room. But that belief is exactly why most people never even see the best wealth building opportunities. Because in reality, wealth is far more often built by doing something ordinary, just better, longer, and more consistently than everyone else. Here's what most people don't realize. The loud businesses get attention. The quiet businesses get rich. And the data backs this up. According to research from the US Small Business Administration, over 70% of millionaires in America are business owners, and the majority of those businesses are not tech startups or flashy brands. They're things like logistics, maintenance, services, distribution, boring, repeatable operations. The kind of businesses you don't brag about at parties. Let's talk about why these businesses work so well. Because this isn't accidental. Quiet businesses usually share three traits. They solve unglamorous but constant problems. They have recurring demand. They're ignored by people chasing excitement. Think about it like plumbing. Nobody wakes up excited to become a plumber. But when your pipe bursts at 2 a.m., you don't negotiate. You don't shop around for weeks. You pay. That's power. Let's start with one of the biggest ones. Service businesses. I'm talking about things like commercial cleaning, landscaping, HVAC maintenance, pest control, pool servicing, property management. Here's why these are insane from a math perspective. Let's say you run a small commercial cleaning company. You have 50 clients. Each pays $1,000 per month. That's $50,000 per month, or $600,000 per year. Now subtract labor, supplies, insurance. Let's say your margins are a conservative 25%. That's $150,000 per year. Quietly, no ads on YouTube, no viral brand, no one knows your name. And here's the kicker. These clients don't cancel because they're bored. They cancel only when their business shuts down. That's recurring revenue, one of the most powerful forces in finance. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Nick, but those sound boring. Exactly. That's the point. Most people confuse boredom with lack of opportunity. But boredom is actually a competitive advantage. Because if something isn't exciting, fewer people compete for it. And lower competition means better margins, more pricing power, more stability. This is the same reason why trash collection companies are wildly profitable. Nobody wants to talk about garbage. But garbage gets picked up every single week in every city, forever. That's not a trend. That's a system. The second category of quiet million-dollar businesses lives completely in the background. These are businesses you never notice until they stop working. Think payment processors, waste management contracts, data storage companies, logistics providers, and equipment leasing firms. These businesses don't rely on hype. They rely on contracts, long-term contracts, 5-year contracts, 10-year contracts. That means predictable cash flow. And predictable cash flow is the foundation of real wealth. Now here's what most people don't realize. These companies don't need millions of customers. They need a few big ones that never leave. And that's why some of the most valuable businesses in the world have names you've never heard of. The third category is where things get quietly insane. Because these businesses don't feel like tech startups. They're not trying to change the world. They're just quietly running critical systems. Think payroll software, compliance tools, niche accounting platforms, internal dashboards, and scheduling systems. These tools exist to reduce pain, not create excitement. And businesses will pay a lot of money to remove pain. Here's a real example. The tiny SaaS company that helps mid-sized firms comply with one obscure regulation can charge $300 per month per client. With just 1,000 customers, that's $300,000 per month. That's $3.6 million per year. And here's the wild part. Customers rarely leave, because once software is integrated, switching feels painful. This is where it gets really interesting. The less exciting the software sounds, the safer the revenue usually is. So how do you actually find these businesses? Because they don't show up in top 10 side hustle videos. You find them by looking at pain, not hype. Ask yourself, what breaks, fails, or causes stress inside businesses? What costs money when it stops working? Because businesses don't pay for convenience. They pay to avoid loss. That's the lens you need. Second filter. Does it repeat every month? Recurring revenue is everything. One-time payments make you hustle forever. Monthly contracts build. Leverage. Third filter. Can it survive without you? If you disappear for a week, does the money stop? If yes, you build a job, not a business. Quiet businesses scale because systems replace effort. So why don't more people do this? Because quiet wealth doesn't feed, e.g. out of IT doesn't come with applause. In one congratulates you for stable cash flow. In one cares that your invoices got paid. But your future self cares, your family cares, your stress levels care. Quiet wealth buys peace, IT buys options, IT buys time. And that's what real wealth actually is. If you stop chasing noise and start building systems, your money stops depending on motivation and starts depending on structure. That's how real wealth is built, quietly, consistently, without anyone noticing. If this helped you think differently about money, subscribe for more Finance Explained content. Because real wealth isn't loud, it's quiet, consistent, and incredibly powerful.